From an Irish pub that had a deteriorating mouse up in its oven.
New stuff up here? Oh my God.
To one whose bartender treated everyone like his personal slave.
Yeah, these don't really taste right a little bit. That's okay.
These Irish pubs were so problematic, Jon Taffer almost gave up saving them, starting with Pachy's Pub. The pub with authentic Irish heritage that had nothing resembling an Irish bar. Opened by Pachy, an Irish immigrant with years of experience managing a popular bar, Pachy's Pub had a solid foundation and was pretty much printing money for the first 6 years.
6 years we're jumping. We're probably pulling in 20,000 a week.
But as Pachy stepped away from the business to focus on his family, he handed over operations to staff, and most importantly, to Guppy, his fellow Irish friend. And the result was Pachy eventually sinking into a staggering $140,000 debt. Right off the bat, Jon Taffer noticed how the bar's signage looked so off-brand that it didn't even look like an Irish bar.
It's supposed to be an Irish bar. You wouldn't know it looking at it.
Like it says in the sign, it's not your typical Irish bar.
When you see the word Pachy with a green background and yellow letters.
You're thinking Packers?
Packers, yeah. So if I told you this was a Packers sports bar, am I crazy?
Paired with interior design that was just as depressing. And while this may seem like a small problem, Jon Taffer explained how for Irish bars, identity is the crucial part of making money.
An Irish bar without authenticity is like a sports bar without TVs, or a nightclub without a dance floor. The fact is, great Irish bars are authentic, like a bar in Ireland. They have great Irish food and great Irish drinks.
And unfortunately, the lack of Irish identity at Pachy's Pub only got worse from there. While Irish pubs are known for their good food that encourages customers to order in a matter of seconds, this pub only had a stoveless kitchen, proudly served chicken wings. And instead of offering premium Irish whiskey selections, the bartenders were serving fruit fly infested drinks.
Got a problem here.
Yeah.
Here's wires.
Get out of it.
Check it out, he's not lying.
I'm not kidding.
Looks like they got some fruit flies.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. That's it.
I'm sure there's how's that one? Powell's better.
He's just put the bottle back in the well.
So he's prepared to serve that to the next guest.
Sure. And hopefully get away with it.
And the worst part was, they later admitted knowing that almost every bottle was infested.
What bottles have fruit flies in them? Show them to me.
Probably every one of them.
You put him back there with the flies in him, didn't you? So you served a drink to a guest, and he puts it back down there and serves it to the next guest.
This was the first time Jon Taffer was introduced to the absurdity of the bartender Guppy, but it certainly was not the last. As the night continued, Guppy partied harder behind the bar, drinking at an incredibly dangerous pace.
Wow. He's pouring a half a glass.
Oh my God, that's not
That's
a
like
shot.
4 ounces. Jesus.
He's gulping 4-ounce drinks.
Wow.
While owner Pachy remained holed up in the kitchen, oblivious to what was happening. And unfortunately for Jon's bar and food experts who acted as spies for recon, they had to personally taste the drinks Guppy so kindly overpoured and showered with a dash of fruit flies.
Oh, for f***'s sake. I mean, that's,
I'm just getting rid of the flies.
You're getting enough of them on your dinner every night.
And just like the drinks, the not-so-Irish food served was also in a terrible state.
The food is There's no Irish food in this bar whatsoever. If you go into an Irish bar, I want Irish food. I want Irish passion on a plate. Hello.
Hey, Gavin. How are those wings?
Dry. I just cooked every single bit of moisture out of them. He cooked them to death.
Though the absolute last straw that made Jon Taffer rush from his SUV to the bar was Guppy, who randomly started exposing himself in front of guests.
I'm coming in. I'll see you in a minute. I'm going to work. I'm not Jay.
As Jon finally introduced himself and the experts to Pachy, they emphasized how crucial having an identity is to Irish pubs.
But the number one thing for me is the chicken. Overcooked, dry. There's something Irish about it. I said it as soon as I walked in. There's something Irish about this bar. It looks like it's an American opened an Irish bar.
But clearly, that was the easiest problem to solve in this problem-ridden establishment. Because on top of discovering that almost every bottle in the bar was literally filled with fruit flies,
Look at the bugs in this bottle.
Oh my God.
Oh. This is the future of your family. Do you understand that?
Yeah, John, I do.
Oh my.
That's disgusting.
That's gross.
The kitchen, which the owner was personally running, also had a serious salmonella risk.
In the bar, we're in big freaking trouble.
We got some problems, John. Look at this. This chicken. Pachy, what's the ideal temperature for this chicken?
40, you think, shouldn't it?
40 around there,
40
right?
or below.
All right.
55.
56.
And despite being caught in the act, astonishingly, Pachy still had a list of excuses for how his chicken cooking method was somehow acceptable.
Do you understand you're gonna get somebody sick? You'll kill them. I want nothing to do with this place. Let's get out of here, guys.
Hearing all the dumb excuses coming from everyone in the bar, Jon Taffer walked out for the night, but what awaited him the next morning was even more chaos. The meeting kicked off with Jon directly making Pachy realize how much money he was losing by allowing Guppy to drink endlessly. But while Pachy had his fair share of surprises seeing his friend drown in alcohol,
You're gonna kill yourself. And that's not the same shot over and over again?
No.
Are you kidding?
Jon Taffer faced even more shocking revelations as he learned that overpouring for customers was so common in the bar that the staff was now used to seeing random vomit and customers that were completely blacked out.
There's vomit in here and outside. People saying that they don't even remember being here.
It's not surprising when he's the drunkest guy in the room.
Worse, it was also revealed that one of the bartenders was stealing money from the bar by not ringing up sales.
Summer,
And why do you say that?
customers say that she charges $20 for a round of drinks and then doesn't ring anything up.
I know what the deal is. I give you a drink, you drop the 20 on the bar. I give you another drink, I give you another drink, and now you look, you want to close your tab. I go like this, and I take the 20 and drop it in my tip cup.
Understandably, Jon Taffer initially treated Summer as a thief, cornering her with his confrontations. But he quickly took the bartender's side once he heard why Summer had to resort to such desperate tactics to earn money.
Why?
I have 3 kids at home, Peggy. You don't pay me.
I owe you 2 checks right now, I do.
We're behind more than 2 checks.
How long haven't you been paid in, Summer?
Probably over a month.
So you're running this business on the dollars of your employees?
And as it turns out, it wasn't just Summer missing her paycheck, as everyone on the staff had not been paid on time. In a snap, Jon Taffer's focus switched from Summer to Pachy himself, furiously demanding that the workers be properly compensated within an hour, or else he would walk out again.
Everybody standing here is unprotected, and you are an unethical. How dare you stand here and look at her? You stole from me. You've been stealing from her for weeks. You figure out how much money you owe each of them. And if you are not paid in full within the hour, I'm out of here. Because I won't work with someone who does this. You just became the biggest in the room.
Pachy's pub during the stress test was still a mess, but after the staff were trained and the bar was rebranded into Campbell's Irish Pub, it once again became the bustling Irish gathering spot, even being featured again on Bar Rescue a year later.
Since the Bar Rescue, I've increased about 74%. So we're up about $90,000 in sales.
Just like Pachy's pub's exterior initially made it seem like a sports bar from afar, Murphy's Law's outdoor signage was easily mistaken for an Italian restaurant instead.
Italian flag in an Irish bar. I mean, we've got green, white, and red when it should be green, white, and orange. Shamrocks and Italian flags. That's confusion right there.
And the lack of effort just to leave that sign up there and still do business.
Fans of the show found the Bar Rescue team's reactions to be incredibly hilarious, writing, "I love the guy's face when he sees the Italian flag on the Irish pub. He's so ashamed and pissed. Lol." While all this other commenter could say was, "An Italian flag on an Irish pub? Only in America." However, right from the start, it was already obvious that this episode was going to be less about the lack of Irish identity and more of a conflict resolution attempt by Jon Taffer, considering that this was literally the first clip that opened the episode.
Why did you partner with these guys?
3 words. I have no idea.
That's 4 words.
It was 4. Someone needs to go back to school. Suck it.
There's a lot of stress between these co-owners.
Here's how Jon Taffer initially briefed his experts about the complex ownership dynamic between the three.
A guy by the name of Gary.
I really have nothing to do.
So Gary's put in $165,000. And when he bought the bar, he had a girlfriend named Maria. He put up all the money. He decided to give her 40% ownership in the bar for free. Free. Now, 3 years later, she's not his girlfriend anymore and owns 40% of his bar.
It's a horrible move.
Oh, it stopped.
That's Nellie. Nellie's a bartender. He owns 20%.
But this wasn't even the full picture that captured how bad this Irish pub really was. While Jon was still explaining who owned what in the business, Nelly showed off his non-existent bartending skills, which featured over-pouring shots and dipping his fingers into customers' drinks.
Look at this, he's poured a half a glass full of whiskey.
His fingers are in it.
It's disgusting.
And when it was finally the recon spy's turn to order their cocktails, Nelly once again used his hand to physically prevent liquid from spilling out of the shakers.
He's shaking with his hand on the top of the shaker to keep the liquid in, and then he's pouring it into the glass.
They're just redistributing the bacteria.
Not to mention the kitchen was also in a very dangerous state, as the staff was cooking on top of flammable wood while using residential equipment to cook their very special hot dogs.
What the?
That looks disgusting. I mean, this is not a kitchen. They got a little meat jacuzzi for their hot dogs.
But in this bar, the most problematic factor was not even a part of the business, but rather one of the owners, Maria herself. Because despite getting 40% of the business without investing a dime, she still continued to drink insane amounts for free, smoke, and gamble alongside customers for 3 straight hours.
She sat there for 3 hours. If somebody gave you 40% of a bar, would you work hard for it?
Absolutely.
And when customers occasionally asked her for help as an owner, her go-to approach was to leave all the work to Nelly.
Okay. You have to tell the bartenders now.
So, for the longest time, Nelly had been quietly bottling up his frustration.
Gary and Bear sitting at a bar. It doesn't matter if the place was on fire. They're not going to get up to do anything.
Until he finally snapped. During Jon Taffer's recon, Maria was once again taking free shot after free shot, adding to Nelly's bartending workload, while purposely ignoring Nelly's requests for help.
Good stuff in front of us. Yeah.
Gary, I need help. Avalon! My new best friend.
It's unbelievable. Nelly is swamped and you're not lifting a finger. You can see his frustration.
Fucking shocker. Sitting at the bar, gambling, drinking, not helping, nothing. Doesn't matter if they're not of ice or anything. Are you surprised?
No.
So, completely tired of carrying the baggage that Maria brought, Nelly walked out in frustration. And when Gary attempted to calm him down, the situation only escalated further.
We just quit.
Why are you leaving?
Because I'm just gonna sue you. You're a douche. You're a douchebag.
Nelly, let me you.
I don't give a flying about you anymore, and I am going to sue the living out of you.
And that's bull.
You. If I am in this bar, you better not be. You get the out of here. I'm done.
You. You're gonna get your ass beat.
This was one of the rare occasions that Jon didn't even need to enter the bar to immediately see what the problems were, because the most problematic people in the bar were already arguing in the parking lot. So all he had to do was step out of the SUV to start his rescue mission. That's when Nelly admitted to having limited time to pay back the $25,000 he borrowed from his mother to invest in the bar. And when Jon finally had the chance to confront Maria about her role in the business, Gary claimed that his ex-girlfriend was the manager, but it was a claim that Jon wasn't buying at all.
Maria, perfect timing. What do you do here?
She manages the bar.
Really? So she runs the bar with you losing money every month, and she's still here. Why? Is she making the customers spend more when they come? Is she implementing promotions? Is she managing your beverage cost? Is she training your employees? Is she doing these things?
I don't think that's not.
Gary tried his best to defend Maria, but he was pretty much speechless about every question except when asked,
Do you love her?
Yeah, of course I do.
The next day, Jon Taffer eventually confronted Maria about her exploitative behavior.
And you sit at the end of this bar, smoking your cigarettes, drinking his liquor, taking his money every month. Doesn't that bother you?
No.
Yet for some reason, she still wholeheartedly believed that she wasn't doing anything wrong, giving the excuse that it was Gary who wanted her there.
He's begging me not to leave. If you looked at my text that I get 5 million times a day about how much he needs me.
You have a hold on him, you know that.
But that's his problem, not mine.
During service, Nelly ended up being so overwhelmed that his trainer had to say,
Nelly, he'd never been behind a bar before. I'd believe it. He's about the track, under pressure, it's a disaster.
And things became so dysfunctional that Jon Taffer just gave up on the stress test and literally threw the drinks he was starting to make.
I've had enough of this. This is garbage. This is garbage. And this is garbage.
Though, after a proper kitchen was installed, the staff, especially Nelly, was given proper training. Relaunch night was a huge success as the bar was rebranded as Money Bar. The team completely abandoned the Irish pub identity and shifted towards a theme centered around casino games instead, an improvement which, unfortunately for Maria, she could no longer enjoy this time around. Unlike Maria though, who'd been dragging Murphy's Law to the ground as the owner's ex-girlfriend, Rain, the manager at Molly Malone's, was actually doing her best to keep the workplace afloat. But unfortunately, her boyfriend Bob, who owned the bar, couldn't care less about what was happening inside his business.
Whose tabs are those going on? Are you even asking or are you just giving away?
When things don't work the way you plan, it gets extremely frustrating and it can take your motivation level down severely.
Now, Bob wasn't always this unmotivated. In fact, the moment he turned 21, he immediately started bartending and remained in the industry for decades. Eventually, he came across Molly Malone's and he had a mind-blowing realization.
Buy Molly's because I didn't think everybody else was doing it right and I thought I could do it better.
So, determined to save the bar, he bought Molly Malone's with the help of his parents' $350,000 investment. But then, he learned the hard way that bartending at a bar and owning one were completely different experiences. For starters, he didn't even ensure that his bar was visible enough to actually attract customers.
Hidden is Molly Malone's. Are they selling used cars in this bar?
Honestly, I feel like I should be getting an oil change.
Does it look like an Irish bar to you?
There's nothing Irish about it.
He allowed the interior to become run down over time, and the staff had zero control over quality, or even themselves.
Keep her the away from me.
I will.
Right down.
Calm down.
Joking.
She's nowhere near you. Calm down.
During recon, Jon Taffer immediately noticed the lack of work ethic in the bar, as most of the bartenders were on the other side of the room playing pool.
There's only one bartender working.
Can I get you guys another drink?
Hey, had no orders.
Everyone else seems to be elsewhere.
I don't see him working.
Danielle was the only one actively working, but even then, she lacked some of the most basic skills of a bartender, such as offering a bar menu, and was illegally mixing ingredients inside a vodka bottle.
Are they mixing grenadine into the vodka and using it as a signature vodka?
That's illegal. The only thing that should be in a bottle is the actual spirit itself.
I'm a little concerned about this Purple Rain mix because Bob made it, and he made it with an obscene amount of wild vodka.
Aside from that, the drinks simply did not taste good.
It's certainly colorful.
Look at her face.
Wow, that is very sweet.
That's a really unattractive cocktail.
You nailed it, yes.
Surprisingly though, this bar had a decent kitchen, with temperature-controlled meat and decent presentation. Now, the big portions made Jon Taffer question the profitability of the food, but this sort of problem was nothing compared to the commotion that escalated at the bar. Frustrated from doing all the work alone, Danielle grew irritable at Tara, who also wasn't that even-tempered herself, and retaliated.
Tara, why is your butt hanging out?
Bitch.
That bitch?
How do they speak to each other that way in front of customers?
Meanwhile, Bob had been sitting in an isolated corner, and Rain had to go over and drag him out to help.
Can you go help the girls?
Yeah,
You've been in here forever.
Look at how these guys work together.
Give me your
Nope,
phone.
I got it.
Get out of the booth. Go do some dishes or something.
Rain is dealing with the problems in this bar. Bob does nothing.
Unfortunately though, Bob's interpretation of helping was to pour drinks for himself and for his buddies, who were drinking for free, making Jon Taffer's team comment.
Bob's playground. One for you, one for me.
And Mom and Dad are paying for it.
And while he was enjoying himself, his bartenders were getting more and more at each other's throats, shouting vulgar words in front of customers.
You're calling me a vagina? Your vagina is falling out right now.
This is disgusting.
Prettier when you smile, Tara.
You're prettier when you're not a whore, bitch.
You just called me a whore? That's funny. That's funny.
Bob pretty much spent a minute or two trying to settle the fight.
I'm going right over here. I'm staying over here.
You started with everybody in this damn
I don't want to deal with this.
Before deciding to just let the chaos unfold, walking himself into a quiet corner, and eventually climbing on top of a bar stool so he could peacefully scroll through his phone. By this point, everyone on the staff was stressed, the customers' jaws were dropping, and Jon Taffer had even already entered the bar unnoticed. But Bob, despite owning the place, was acting like a bystander. So Jon Taffer had to take matters into his own hands, mediating the two parties and eventually deciding to send one employee home for the night.
And yelling at me.
No, I didn't scream at you.
The customers don't like you because you're not very nice.
You.
So tonight when you're calling each other whores in front of the customers, where was Bob?
He was playing his video game on his phone.
I want you to look at one of the two of them and say, go home for tonight. Act like a boss. I'll see you tomorrow.
Danielle was eventually chosen to leave the bar, and to this, one fan commented, "Dude, I feel for Danielle from Molly Malone's. She's deadass trying to get people to do their jobs, and they're like, you have a problem with everyone else here." Okay, chief, everyone else here doesn't do their jobs though. As service ended, Rain couldn't help but cry in frustration during an interview.
I can't even put it into words. He's just... It's a party for him.
And the next day during the staff meeting, she finally gave Bob an ultimatum, that she would break up with him if he didn't get his act together.
I can't put my future and Damien's future in your hands anymore. If you don't wake up and listen to Jon and take care of this bar, I'm leaving you.
After all, it was revealed then that Rain had actually dropped out of school to help Bob achieve his dreams.
I believed in his dream. I stopped going to school and I had to help him save the business. I'm not a bar manager.
So you gave up your life for him.
Yeah, I did.
And his answer is to drink behind the bar, get drunk here.
But while Bob was determined to change, the bar itself still had a long way to go. As it often happens on Bar Rescue, the stress test was a huge failure, with the kitchen spending approximately 20 minutes just to get an order out, and the bar having barely served any drinks after half an hour.
Who still doesn't have drinks? Show your hands. Look at this. Who got a drink? Oh, look at this, guys. Come on.
I'm thirsty.
Have you not got a drink yet?
Not yet.
Rain was visibly frustrated and Bob was also overwhelmed, and as if things weren't chaotic enough, the bar even ran out of glasses midway.
Bob, we're running out of glasses. Bob, where are my glasses?
You gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna lose it here in about 2 seconds.
Bob?
Making Jon Taffer describe the test as a...
It was a sloppy mess.
After the stress test though, the staff were trained on more profitable food selections and unique cocktails, which were all suitable for the rebranding from Molly Malone's to Wait Saloon. Though before the remodel was even revealed, Bob had already prepared his own surprise for Rain, as the couple revealed that they had gotten engaged earlier that morning before the cameras were even rolling.
So...
Wow.
Officially mom and dad. So...
Congratulations. Thank you. That makes me so freaking happy. Thank you. It was time. Thank you. I can't thank you. Talk about taking action.
But while Jon Taffer steered Waypoint Saloon away from an Irish pub and toward a more fitting concept, on the flip side, his team did everything to bring Downey's Irish pub back to its original fame. After all, unlike most bars on Bar Rescue that struggled with an average reputation or were started from scratch by the owner, Downey's Irish pub was actually one of Philadelphia's most historic Irish pubs. So when Dominic, a renowned Italian chef in the Philadelphia restaurant scene, bought the bar, he promised to do his best to preserve the Irish vibe and its long-standing legacy. Except the complete opposite happened.
I didn't even feel cooking anymore. I didn't have the ability to do nothing.
By the time the bar appeared on Bar Rescue, Dominic was already $3 million in debt, and his bar was basically an open book of reasons why he was losing so much money. When Jon Taffer's whiskey expert walked into the bar as the spy, he was welcomed by gross clutter, fruit flies, and a foul smell, which he later described as...
Definitely a little bit of an odor going on.
What did it smell like?
Beer, maybe a little bit of throw up kind of smell going on.
Still, he had to get the full customer experience, so he started to order food and drinks, only to realize they were as non-Irish as you could possibly imagine. The bar also had a very limited selection of Irish whiskey, even though Irish pubs are supposed to specialize in them.
I believe they had 4 Irish whiskeys in an Irish pub, and there's a lot more to offer. To me, that's not good enough.
And the food menu consisted primarily of pasta dishes, with little to no Irish influence on any of the items. Surprisingly, despite the owner once being a renowned Italian chef, the pasta turned out to be a disappointment.
And I just assumed that maybe it's something I should probably try.
So our Italian chef doesn't make a very good pasta.
That would appear to be the case. I don't think he makes the pasta at all.
Though the spy's disappointment was nothing compared to what the customer beside him experienced, as the oysters this other guy ordered turned out to be so slimy and tasted so horrible that he even refused to pay for them.
These things need to go back.
Oh, okay.
They're terrible. I'm not even going to pay for one a moment.
And unfortunately, instead of trying to satisfy the customer, all Dominic did was make excuses before walking out completely.
They just don't taste good.
I can show you the tag if you want. The oyster, like they're fresh.
There was no argument whether they were fresh or not. They weren't shucked right. They were stuck to the thing. I had to saw them off.
The oyster, we sell a lot of them. You can get it from the fish market.
They're not good oysters.
Unfortunately for Jon Taffer, this was just a little sneak peek into how excuse-filled an owner Dominic actually was. When he finally entered the bar and asked Dominic to walk him to the kitchen, he was met with an absurd sight that left him speechless for about 2 seconds.
Go ahead, you want to
So what do we got? What's this?
That's the bucket where we put the dirty paint. Like when finishing.
I understand what you said. Just in 35 years, I've never seen anything like that.
Fans couldn't help but notice this rare reaction as well, writing, "I started dying at the way Jon was just stuck looking at the bucket of dirty dishes after the chef told him what it was, and then looked at the chef, and then looked back at the bucket." But this was just the beginning of the dirty bar discovery that would inspire Jon Taffer to shower midday. After Dominic made excuses about the dirty pan,
That before. Isn't that bacteria ridden? That's protein sitting at room temperature in water. You're a chef.
Yeah, but that's not for.
Let's walk.
Okay.
Jon Taffer discovered the trash room that was literally steps away from the kitchen, and unfortunately, just inches away from the fries that were about to be served to customers.
Who runs this place?
I do.
And this is acceptable to you? Look at the French fries sitting here a few feet from a trash room with oysters sitting here in frickin' shells. Come on! Is this what people are gonna eat?
Once again, Dominic had an excuse for why, in his opinion, this shouldn't be a big deal.
The boxes should be broken down, but things can be close to each other as long as they don't touch each other.
But even fans of the show mocked his response, quoting his words and then ironically pointing out that it was from a supposed professional chef who has apparently never heard of mold spores or airborne pathogens. There was even a deteriorating mouse found on top of the oven, which Dominic once again had an excuse for.
Oh my God. I think you better go up there. What do you say? You see the mouse?
Yeah. That I didn't see it.
But you're supposed to see it. You're supposed to see it. There's a mouse in your kitchen.
You
Dominic.
can't see everything.
Yes, you can. You walk through
How?
your business. You might be a great chef, but you're a lousy manager.
Essentially, Dominic's main excuse was that he didn't have the money to fix things. But to that, Jon Taffer responded with his iconic statement that
Dom needs to learn that. It doesn't cost money to clean. It doesn't cost money to throw trash away. It doesn't cost money to cover French fries sitting on the floor. It doesn't cost money to do this stuff, Dom. You have to manage the business, not have the business manage you.
The next day, a retired health inspector joined Jon Taffer to really lay bare what his bar was dealing with. And the bar was still as disgusting as the day before, with fruit flies everywhere, zero sanitized utensils behind the bar, and a walk-in cooler so unkempt it had holes in the wall, and random food sitting at unsafe temperatures.
You got this one over here. I wasn't sure what it was.
Chicken Popeye.
There's no time on it, no date.
From yesterday.
52 degrees.
Now, if you were a health inspector and you saw this stuff, what would you do?
I would shut the place down.
Disgusted by everything he saw, Jon Taffer walked out to take a shower.
I gotta leave and go take a shower. This is the worst thing I have ever seen in my life. I'll see you in a little while. I want everybody here.
But Mr. Excuses still had more excuses to give.
I do everything on my own.
What did you say?
I say I can't do everything alone. That's what I
If
said.
you had a dime for every excuse that comes out of your mouth, I wouldn't need to be here. Stop with the excuses. This business is failing because of you. You're either lazy or you've given up. Which is it?
I've given up, probably.
At this point, it wasn't even surprising that one of the bartenders admitted she was embarrassed to say she worked there, or to hear that Dominic didn't even create a shift schedule for his staff.
I'm embarrassed at times. I don't like to tell people I work here.
They don't listen.
When was the last time we had a schedule? 6 months ago was the last time we had a schedule.
Our staff collectively gets things done without a manager or a leader on the floor.
But the soft opening, which the show now refers to as the stress test, revealed the full scope of how checked out Dominic was at work. Even when customer complaints piled up due to delayed drinks and overcooked burgers, Dominic still had time for a phone call, making Jon's food expert raise his voice in frustration.
You are a chef. Act like one. 8 o'clock on a Friday night making a phone call? Come on, get on your line and run your kitchen.
But unfortunately, Dominic did it again a second time. When a customer became so intoxicated because he was overserved, Dominic promised Jon that he would make sure the customer got home safely.
So you're on this?
Yes.
Okay.
But in the end, one of his staff had to do the work on his behalf, as he prioritized making another phone call.
Every time I turned around, Dominic was on his phone. He was standing outside. You get this back at midnight, because all night you're on this line. You are the chef of this restaurant. You're gonna own this kitchen
Not only
tonight.
the chef of this restaurant.
Okay. Are you acting like a manager? You don't give a.
That's not true.
Well, then show me something different.
If somebody called me on
Nothing to worry about.
For what felt like the 100th time, Jon's food expert laid into the owner over his endless excuses.
I will run your kitchen tonight.
Isn't that what you're here for?
I'm not here to babysit a chef who's been in the business for as long as
That's
you.
not babysit.
You're full of and you gave up.
Determined to understand the reason for his hopelessness, Jon invited him into a private conversation, where Dominic revealed the grief that had been holding him back.
Since my brother died, everything went downhill.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I got depressed. I thought everything was gonna crumble down my head. It was the worst day of my life.
However, Jon Taffer reassured Dominic that the days of the bar struggling were over, and in a symbolic act of letting go of the dark past, encouraged him to throw the old chairs out into the road.
There it is.
Junk.
Boy, I'm really glad you said that. We have to get rid of your old philosophies. Your days of junk are over. If you're not proud of it, get rid of them.
Let me do one myself.
Go ahead.
It's like I broke the chain off the wall. That's the only way I can describe it. I broke free of the wall. It was kept me there for about 7 years.
And from there, the restaurant underwent the second successful transformation Bar Rescue had ever pulled off, with an improved exterior and interior. Once again, Downey's Irish pub went back to being the authentic Irish institution it always was. The opposite of the endgame for Lucky Leprechaun, which had an incredibly confusing bar concept at the start. See, bars could typically either be an Irish pub filled with green charm and vibrant rooms, or a saloon with a Western flair. Yet Lucky Leprechaun decided it could combine the two, making the concept a first even for Jon Taffer's team.
Irish saloon doesn't really work for me.
How many Irish saloons have you been in?
Unless it's a new thing I don't know about.
But this wasn't the only disconnect this bar had. When they purchased the bar, co-owners Terry and Georgianne Brown were happily married, but after 5 years of owning Lucky Leprechaun, they decided to get a divorce. After all, they barely saw eye to eye on business.
I don't agree with it.
I understand that. We will agree to disagree on this.
Terry's attitude grew more and more careless.
What the f has it got to do with you? What f***ing price I f***ing charge?
And the bar was on a continuous downhill slope because Terry would rather play pool than manage the bar.
She has one half of the house.
This is kind of our common area.
I have the other half. This is my apartment.
But being $300,000 in debt, the ex-couple had no choice but to live together as roommates. So, as her last hope, Georgianne had no choice but to contact Jon Taffer, who, upon arriving at the bar, immediately spotted the confusing name. The confusing concept aside, the bar had signage so bright it made the entrance feel dark and even a bit unsafe.
Sign pops, right? Can you see the bar underneath it?
Not at all. It looks scary.
So the sign is so bright that it makes the whole bar disappear underneath it.
It's like a black hole back there.
It is. If I was a woman, I wouldn't go in there, would you?
No. Hell no.
And inside, the bartenders were making it so obvious that they had no training, proven by how chaotic they acted and how they made the same drinks look drastically different from each other. Not to mention, the kitchen was pretty much empty, so customers had to bring their own food, causing a loss of potential revenue. But the number one alarming issue this bar had was inevitably Terry himself, who spent most of his nights in the bar hustling by illegally betting $100 with customers to play pool, despite being over $300,000 in debt.
You want to put 100 on him? I'll take it.
The guy's losing $2,000 a month, and his ex-wife can't leave because she's so broke. What the hell's he betting $100 on a pool table for unless he knows he can win?
Exactly.
If he wins this game, he's a hustler.
Yes.
If he loses this game, he's an idiot because he can't afford to lose that $100. The meter is really starting to move towards the idiot side.
So, to see for himself just how much Terry's pool gambling addiction was affecting the bar, Jon sent in his food expert as a spy with a hidden mission to play pool with Terry. What welcomed him was a smoke-filled room, which Jon Taffer flagged as a huge turnoff for non-smokers. But surprisingly, his first drink was actually quite pleasant, as the Guinness was ice cold, a bare minimum that many bars on the show cannot even meet.
Talk about the beer. Is it cold? Is it good?
It seems nice and cold.
What's going on here? You're doing some kind of scientific...
But that was, unfortunately, the only saving grace in this bar. As Vic ordered fried food, everything came out so greasy, and the chicken was so pre-cooked and old that even the bartender admitted he avoids fryer food.
They're actually like pre-cooked chicken. Would you like me to make you some fresh ones?
You know what? I'm cool on the wings. You know what's weird? Everything tastes like the fryer.
Yeah, I avoid the fried foods.
Vic, can you pick up the food and squeeze it and show us how greasy it is? Look at that. It just shot right through the napkin because of all the grease.
So, after barely tasting the food, he decided to kick off the agreed $100 pool bet with Terry, which they had scheduled just minutes before eating. Though, of course, Jon Taffer didn't actually want the illegal game to play out.
I'm not going to let them play this game. I just wanted to establish what this guy would do. Now I'm not going to let it happen because I won't be a part of gambling in this bar.
One fan asked, I wonder what would happen if one of the patrons that he hustled was an undercover cop. To which someone answered, that old drunk would be getting locked up. Thank God Taffer intervened. After all, Jon Taffer's punishment was definitely much milder, and it was for Terry to return all the money that he had hustled from his customers, a gesture that Terry felt very strongly against.
You're running a gambling operation or a bar? Which is it? Stop the game, give him his money back. Okay. And is there anybody else who lost money to the asshole tonight?
I did.
You guys all lost money to him tonight. He's paying every one of you back right now. Yeah! Correct? Pay them all back. Give them their money.
I have
last week. You can go yourself.
But what Terry didn't know was that if he could be rude, Jon could be twice as much, as Taffer decided to expose and berate him in public before shutting the bar down.
They're in debt $300,000. He's losing $2,000 a month, and now he's gonna give your bar money back to them, isn't he? Yeah. Bars owned by assholes typically don't make money, do they? No. So, to fix the bar, I gotta fix the asshole!
Till I get me ass reamed again.
Jon told me I was an idiot, a loser, an asshole. I've been doing it for so long, gambling, playing pool, making money from it. You'd be only an idiot that wouldn't.
That same night during the staff meeting, Jon Taffer questioned Terry's attitude directly, and Terry gave an unhinged answer.
So why do you come off like such a dick?
I think it's funny.
You think it's funny? No. How many times have you seen him make a fool out of himself? Quite a few.
Obviously though, no one else in the room found his attitude funny. Seeing just how much Terry's attitude was a major driver of whether or not this bar would succeed, Jon Taffer gave Terry a unique behavioral correction bet the next day, which he happily agreed to accept.
I don't want you to say the word one time. If you do that, I'll put a smoke eater system in this bar that it'll feel like there's no smoking.
But while he did eventually win the bet, his bartenders unfortunately failed the stress test miserably, mixing incredibly slowly and repeating the same mistakes.
Everything that I taught the bartenders in training totally went out the window.
I made the wrong one.
I swear to God, girl, you don't listen to me. They just went back to their old habits, and that's going to be the hardest part moving forward, is breaking these old habits.
Worse, some of them weren't even making the business any money.
Pardon? Have you been bringing any drinks?
No, I've got them written down.
Written down? Have you been bringing any drinks?
I bring in some. I've missed a couple. I'm not gonna lie.
Some of the bartenders are not bringing in the drinks.
The stress test was so bad that even Terry had to say,
"It looks like it's a shambles."
Surprisingly, Terry showed initiative for the first time, offering soda to customers who might be the designated driver for the night.
Full game. Terry's concerned that some of the customers who are driving tonight don't want cocktails, might want soft drinks. This makes perfect sense. He's listening to his customers.
The stress test ended with Jon Taffer shutting it down, but at least it served as a lesson in exactly how the staff should be trained prior to reopening. And Terry finally realized the harm his attitude had on the business.
Doing any harm to anyone. I was doing harm, but it was the kicking Jon gave me to bring me back to where I used to be.
During relaunch day, the Lucky Leprechaun was transformed into Lucky's Corner Pocket Bar and Billiards, and completely renovated into something more fitting of its theme.
Yes, I do. I really do. Beautiful, Jon.
Kept the word lucky, but the Lucky Leprechaun Irish Saloon made no sense.
No.
Corner Pockets does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Says who we are. We're a great bar, and we have a lot of pool tables. Perfect.
It was no longer an Irish pub, but it was clearly a more efficient bar, with bartenders serving unique drinks fast alongside appetizing hot dogs. And speaking of Irish pubs that Jon Taffer ultimately rebranded to be something else, leads us to Okelly's Irish Pub, another crash and burn story in bar rescue. When longtime restaurant owner Andrea Irvin opened up Okelly's, The bar initially started off strong.
When we first opened, business was great. We had a lot of friends, customers coming from our other restaurant, and we were having months in upwards of $75,000.
At first, it seemed like she hit the jackpot, as this meant she now had 2 businesses generating steady revenue, her restaurant, Mama Campisi, as well as this new Irish pub. But unfortunately, just one wrong decision sent both of her businesses spiraling downwards. Andrea decided to be less involved with her new bar to focus on her restaurant, which had just lost its manager, leaving her new bar in the hands of her nephew Cameron, the head bartender. And Kim, her longtime restaurant employee, whom she had promoted as the bar manager. Unfortunately, not only were these two openly hostile towards each other,
I work cleaning up after you 24/7. It's listen to you bitch all the time.
They were just as incompetent as one another. Making one fan comment, "I literally know nothing about bar owning, managing, or the service industry, and somehow I feel like I'm more prepared to operate a bar than any of the owners or managers that appear on the show." And this comment isn't really that surprising once it was revealed that the only thing these two achieved as a team was dragging Okelly's pub down, even when it had a prime location in the beer capital of the country. Despite this though, Andrea was completely oblivious to what was happening behind closed doors during Recon, proven when she confidently praised Cameron.
And I understand he's your nephew?
Yes, he does a good job.
Seconds before Jon Taffer began Recon by showing footage from previous nights revealing just how uncontrollable Cameron was during his shifts.
And it's important to me that you watch this.
Guys, go down on how many times you've been in here.
Oh no.
There we go.
Look at that! Now Cameron is fighting with customers.
Are you kidding me?
And as they shifted attention from recordings to live surveillance cameras, Cameron repeated the same pattern again. He spent the entire night bickering with Kim.
You have a manager and a bartender who clearly hate each other.
You're really pissing me the off.
Showcasing the worst beer pours in the beer capital, and giving away free shots on his aunt's dime.
Whoever wants to put these goggles on can have a shot for free. Cameron, no, come on.
Even when Kim, his manager, was asking for help, he openly ignored the chain of command, bringing Kim to tears.
Down here, we don't start getting together.
Shut up.
Look, he has Kim in tears. This kid has a frickin' attitude, Andrea.
Instead of working, he kept spraying beer all over the bar.
Are they doing?
You are gonna walk up to Cameron and your manager and take frickin' control of this. Are you ready to do this?
Yes.
And that's when Jon Taffer encouraged the owner Andrea to feel angry, not just embarrassed. But Andrea's stepping up moment as an owner didn't exactly go as planned. Because when she was confronting Cameron about his actions, her nephew shamelessly denied everything, even though he was literally recorded the entire time.
No more drinking, no more talking to Kim like that, no more.
Seriously.
I didn't even do anything.
I have been sitting here watching you all night. Yes, you have.
Where? Have you not seen Kim?
Shut. It doesn't matter. I will address Kim. You're giving more away than you're collecting.
I didn't give anything away tonight.
Cameron, I've been watching you this whole evening. Yes, you did.
I didn't even do anything tonight.
But are you nuts? Enough.
And just like he didn't respect Kim, he even disrespected his aunt's authority, walking out mid-conversation.
I don't want to be here and deal with it.
Later that night, Cameron, Kim, and Andrea came face to face again, and Cameron wasn't even hiding the fact that he was deliberately disrespecting Kim.
But you can't treat her the way you do. You have to respect her.
Why?
Because she is your boss. Yes, she is your boss.
Act like my boss.
Well, she will start acting like your boss, and you will listen to what she says.
And that he considered himself someone with higher authority.
There's plenty of times that I wanted to fire you.
I'm probably more likely to be able to fire you than you could fire me.
Will you please do this for me?
Fine.
But while up to this point, Kim seemed like a victim whose only flaw was her fondness for the gigantic blue cup she placed in the middle of the bar.
Kim's frickin' cup on the bar, which I hate.
Her trucker cup.
Every time I
Does she know you hate it?
I hate it. She
and
knows.
She knows. That's disrespectful.
It is
you.
disrespectful.
She also had very serious flaws. When Jon Taffer entered the kitchen, his team discovered a bucket of nacho cheese sitting at bacteria-prone temperatures.
is how you get people sick.
Oh, what is that?
So this is a calibrated digital thermometer. 104 degrees. See that? Anthony, what's the temperature danger zone? Who trained you?
I haven't been trained.
And it looked so disgusting. One fan had to comment, "Oh my god, that was nacho cheese? I thought it was chicken in some kind of sauce, it was so congealed." On top of the barely cheese-looking stuff, there was also the petrified meat that Andrea didn't even recognize.
This petrified has been aging.
What is that? I have not a clue.
How do you guys not know what's in your own restaurant?
And the more the team searched, the more spoiled ingredients they found inside the freezer, sending Jon Taffer on a meat discarding marathon. Now, of course, the cook received his fair share of criticism, but Kim, as general manager, was even more responsible for kitchen oversight, making Jon Taffer say,
"This is the result of your work."
I'm not a bar manager.
No, you are a bar manager. You have been for 2 years. You're a failing bar manager, but you are a bar manager. At least that's what you pay her for, correct?
Yes.
But this was just the beginning of Kim's inability to manage. Over at the bar, Jon's team found mold with a simple wipe and discovered bottles with flies.
Oh my God, that disgusts me. That's not even a fruit fly, that is a fly.
Upon being interrogated, Kim admitted that she makes a checklist for the bar, but does not follow up when nobody completes it.
I leave lists, but it doesn't always get done.
Making Jon Taffer once again question her management skills.
I'm not sure you can manage anything. When you write lists and things aren't done, that's not management. When you watch profits go down the drain and you don't react, that's not management.
No, but I didn't.
What did you do about it?
Nothing.
As she always did, Kim cried due to the stress, making someone claim that she was resulting to tears as a way out of responsibility. And looking back, her earliest breakdowns pretty much hinted at how badly she would handle the stress test. Because while everyone else struggled in their roles during service, Kim was just completely overwhelmed. She tried helping the bartenders when she clearly only got in the way.
Shade that you want to help, but right now you're just in the way, kid. We either got to get them right or get out of here. Where's Kim's bucket?
And despite being the food runner, she often forgot to deliver food to tables.
Food runner! Kim!
Jon Taffer personally called her out when she only took and served half of a table's orders.
Forgot their order down there.
Yeah. Kim, come here for 1 second, please. You never took the order from the other half of the table. You said you'd come back, you didn't.
I can't put no more orders in. I'm still waiting for these drinks to come out.
Why wouldn't you put all of them in and say, I'm gonna get your orders in, we're a little backed up, guys, they'll come out as quickly as... But then at least they all come out.
And her response was to drink from her now hidden giant sippy cup before quitting on the spot.
I'm done.
Kim, you can't even manage yourself, nonetheless anyone else.
I'm done. I'm out of here. They're all yelling at me in there.
Leave me alone, I'm done, I'm leaving.
Stay out of my way.
Get this off me, I'm leaving. I quit Okelly's, get the cameras off me. I quit!
On the flip side though, Cameron actually showed a change of attitude during the stress test, finally learning how to pour a proper beer, and even winning praise from his mentor.
Unfortunately, we took every single dollar out of Cameron's jar. I know we didn't start out on the right foot, but we got better attitude out of Cameron specifically. He's got pours down, and let's see if that makes a difference. Good job.
For the relaunch, one of the bartenders, Tina, was promoted to manager, and Okelly's Irish pub was successfully rebranded as the Pastimes on the 4th, which was no longer an Irish bar.
Thank you.
It's great. You like the name?
I love it.
Pastimes on 4th, a St. Louis pub.